all. Today is a video about the project pan. I know that I've been pretty diligent about doing my project pan. I took about a 3-month break from where I last filmed, and now I am still kind of doing project pan, and I noticed that I basically used up almost everything I had in that video that was posted about 3 months ago. So maybe quarterly is what I need to do, because that way I feel like I just actually have something to say, more to say about each of the products. So let's start. Last time I did have this as a base, and this is Organic Wear CC Cream from Physicians Formula. I like this. I've owned this before. They're 35 mils, but it looks like it's bigger than that. It's not. The tube does not come completely filled for some reason. I don't understand why they just don't do a smaller packaging. Who are you trying to impress? Physicians Formula? This is a lie. But the product itself is really nice. It wears pretty long and pretty well as well. So this is in the color light, and this is the lightest they do. This for me is my summer shade. So for winter, I really can't get away with Physicians Formula because they don't make anything that is my color for the winter, where I am a bit paler. I don't have a drastic difference between winter and summer because I sunscreen myself like I'm a vampire. But this CC cream is like, you can get away with it in the summer, but in winter, definitely not. If you're paler than me, there's nothing you can find there. If you are darker than about medium, there's nothing you can find there. Physicians Formula suck in terms of their color range. So although the quality of the products are something I really, really like, a lot of the time for complexion products, I can't easily get away with the color selection that they do have. But this was really, really nice, and I finished it up completely. I would repurchase something similar. I just really wish they had better color selection. Then we have a powder. This is the Meteorites from Guerlain. This is basically the powder that I use most of the time. I use this as my setting powder for most of the year. In the summer, I will use something a little bit more mattifying for setting. Or sometimes I don't use anything at all. I just will use a more long-wearing matte foundation. However, most of the year I wear these guys. I have quite a few little boxes. This is the one that I picked for my project pan this year in 2020. This is Champs-Élysées Crazy Pearls collection. Obviously, beautiful packaging, which is why I collect those. And I probably am about halfway through the tin. I did use up about half of this whole container, but it's really difficult to tell because those guys are actual pearls, as you can see. It was a little more full, but it's hard to tell. Hard to tell in comparison. The way that I use them is with the fluffy brush all over my face. It's a finishing powder, which I use as a setting powder. If you have dry skin, you might enjoy finishing powders as setting powders. It's a nice color correcting variation in here. If you are using Meteorites and you are thinking to yourself, well, this is kind of hard to use in those pearls, and you need a bit of a rougher brush in order to pick up product. If you are somebody who had that thought, I got you. I had the same thought. So for years now, how I use them, and I failed to mention it previously, but how I would use them is I would close the tin and I would shake them, which would create a very, very fine dust, at which point you can pick it up very easily with the brush. They smell like candied violets. They're very pleasant. Probably my favorite setting powder or powder in general. And I will be happy to continue using it. Powders last a long time in my project pans. Next, we're moving on to a blush. This is the blush that I included last time I filmed an update, and this is Youngblood Pressed Mineral Blush in Zin. It was just barely panned, so you could see the bottom of the tin. And if you see now, take a look at it, it's nearly done. Now, I know that for many project panners, this is not considered finished. For me, it is. I am not a fan of you know, making sure that I get everything from the very outer rim. I'm not going to dig my brushes into like the very, very small amount of powder that is in there. I'm not going to crush it and repress it. Like, that's just way too much work for me. I can't do it. I can't make myself do it. Moreover, even if I wanted to do it, I kind of suck at it. I've tried it some years ago and it was just a mess. I don't repress. I'm not going to finish up the very, very last of it, but I do consider this finished. So a blush is out this year, which is great because it's actually very difficult for me to finish blushes because I don't use a lot of them. Or at least I don't use a lot at each time that I apply. Let's move on to an eye base. Again, I included this Nude last time that I filmed and now it's done. This is a Laura Mercier Caviar Stick Eye Color in Vanilla Kiss. And this is basically a vanilla color and it is an eye base that I have been using a lot. I am going to include another eye base instead of this one. I usually have one of those on the go. I like it, but I think it's a little too pricey for an eye base. You really can get shadow bases that are much more affordable that would do about the same thing. And specifically per ounce, I would say MAC paint pots are your best deal if you like the very long wearing colored bases. MAC paint pots so far are the best ones I've found, and I'm experimenting a little bit with a drugstore transparent base that is basically, to me, exactly the same as a Urban Decay shadow potion, something like that. The one that comes in the purple tube. I used up a couple of those and I swear I found a drugstore dupe that is identical. I really can't tell the difference between the original of the shadow potion. I'm sure I'm butchering the name of it. I don't remember what it is, but you know, there's only one line of eyeshadow bases with the Urban Decay, that one. And I found like a basic dupe for it. We have the eyeshadow palette that I included last time. Again, this is not something that I expected to be getting out of my project pan because this is a perfect, wonderful, great palette. I love the color selection. I like the quality. Everything about it is my favorite. And this is Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. It is limited edition, so it's not sold currently. And when I included it, I think I had maybe hit pan on one or two shadows, or maybe none of them. And now I panned almost all of them. I love the color scheme, and I really want to find something similar to dupe this out because it's not available anymore. This, I think, has expired. The texture about a month ago started being more crumbly, and the wear time decreased as well. So I've never had an eyeshadow palette go bad on me. This has gone bad on me, which I was quite surprised about. That's never happened. I've owned shadows for a while, years, several years, and they've never spoiled or changed texture or color. They just stayed as they were. Now, Sultry, it's a very creamy formula, so that's probably why. And also on the back of it, it's 18 months and it's older than 18 months old. So because of this change in texture, I feel like this is no longer good. I count it as done because, I mean, that's a ton of progress. To me, I got my use out of this guy. I really enjoyed using it, but it's time to say adieu. A lipstick from Bite Beauty that I was using as a cream cheek product is Amuse Bouche lipstick in the color Cava. It is a beautiful grayish purpley color that looked very, very natural as a cheek color and made me look dead as a lip color. I finished it up. I am not going to repurchase it. It's a nice formula. I like the formula, but the color was excellent for cheeks, but I'm kind of done. I'm done with this. So empty, yet another empty. Another lip and cheek product that I finished off is the Clinique, oh gosh, what is it called? Clinique Pop Oil Lip and Cheek Glow in the color 03 Rose Glow. So this was a fuchsia lip oil that you could use for cheeks as well. Most lip products you can really use for cheeks unless you're having a problem with the greasiness, right? So if you have comedones, you probably very rich emollient products on the cheeks are not a great idea. But for me, with my dry skin, I mean, oil is fine. So this is a little lip and cheek oil, and it's finished, and I'm not going to repurchase it. I gave away, I had another color of it, I think orange, some kind of orange color. I gave that away. This one's done. I have no more of these Clinique ones, and I will not be buying it. I really don't love oils for lips. I know it's a thing, and I know people wear a lot of oils, but I prefer something thicker. I don't like an oil. An oil is a bit messy. It doesn't stick around. It doesn't, you know, it can travel. This is not good for a lip product, especially in a fuchsia color. You don't want travel all over your face. So for me, this was nice, but not anything that I'm going to ever repurchase. Another lip product that I finished off, I swear it's like everything that was in that video is done because I leave it in my makeup box and just use it on the daily. So this is the Nude by Nature Sheer Glow Color Balm in 03 Pink. This was an awesome little color balm. I'm glad that it's done because I finished it off maybe about 2 months ago. It's completely out. And these days I wear a lot of matte lipsticks, liquid matte lipsticks and longwear lipsticks because of the mask issue, and I don't want it sliding all over my mouth. So whenever I'm wearing a mask, which is most of the time, I like to wear something like ultra long wear and no smudge kind of deal, which of course balms are not. So I'm glad that this one's done. I was kind of having half a mind to repurchase it, but I found a formula that I like more, which is the Burt's Bees lipstick formula. Not the creamy ones, but the matte ones in little tubes. I really like that formula much better. So a while ago I was thinking this is great and I might need to get another one. But now I have a Burt's Bees one that does the same thing, except I think looks better because it's really matte. But moisturizing somehow, magically. It's not super long wearing, but it is very comfortable on the lips. So this one is not something I'm going to repurchase either. Finally, I have MAC Prep and Prime here. This was a coconut flavor. I do prefer no flavor, but you know, coconut is one of the smells that I really like. So I did purchase the scented one. This is a makeup setting spray, really basically a moisturizing glycerin spray to take down the powderiness, and it is completely done. I like this, but I think it's a little bit too expensive for what it is, which is basically nothing to do with prolonging the wear of your makeup, which is what a setting spray to me is for. This is kind of more like skincare or like a glowing spray that is meant to not do anything for the wear time, but rather just make the makeup look less powdery, which is not a bad thing. If you have dry skin like myself, this is probably one of the things you want your spray to do. However, like literally an e.l.f. coconut mist is basically the same thing, and it costs maybe $4 to $8, I'm not sure, but definitely less than the MAC one. Although the MAC was really great, I probably won't be buying it again for a while. Here's the eye base that I was talking about. This is the MAC Paint Pot in Bare Study. It's a flesh toned, slightly pearlescent color that you can just put in one layer all over the lid and you're good to go. Again, I've hit the bottom of the container already. I've been using it a ton. I really enjoy it. It's a great product. I will continue to use it until it goes bad or something. So far I haven't had a single MAC paint pot go bad on me. I had the ochre one, and I think the next time I will be getting the beige one, the one that is really like similar to my skin tone without the shimmer. This is very subtle shimmer. Again, you can't really tell that it's there as much if you're using a very thin layer as a base, but I think I do want something matte as a base. For highlighter, Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. This is an absolutely perfect everyday cream highlighter. Looks nothing like a highlighter, looks like healthy glowing skin. I really enjoy it, and I think it's a great addition to anybody's makeup bag. Just get the color that suits your skin tone the best. This is the very gentle, very subtle, very beautiful, and very realistic way to wear highlight. I like the creamy nature of it, and it's easy to tap out. I've even applied it over top of my setting powder, very thinly laid setting powder. However, it was there. It does not disturb the makeup underneath very much. Of course, a cream will disturb powder if you put one on top of the other, but if you're applying it in a very, very thin layer, so put a little bit between your fingers, warm it up, and just tap it in, it looks fantastic. Really one of the favorites of mine. About 1/3 done. So I have about 2/3 in this bottle remaining. I will continue using it. It's just a joy to use, so why not? Both of them are the Nudestix Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencils. One is in the color Pixie, the other one is in the color Purity. I have a little bit more of the Purity pencil than the Pixie one. These are very easy to wear. I really like them as on-the-go products. If you're traveling, these are fantastic. I like them more on the cheeks than I do on the lips, but I will be working on them. I doubt that I'll be finished with them by the end of the year, but let's see how it goes. Man, I'm going for a lot of cheap products here, really do. I suppose I need to finish some up because I have some other ones that I've included in the last few months into my makeup wardrobe. This one I think I need to finish up because it's 18 months and I definitely need to get a go on it before it expires and goes bad. This is Kosas Cream Cheek Products in the color Velvet Melon. This is a beautiful packaging style. I love this packaging style. It's minimalistic, it's clean. I really enjoy it. And this is a cream product duo. They have the same kinds of packaging but with powder products as well. These are creams. If you like super emollient creams that do wear off, this is good. If you have like ultra dry skin, this will probably work for you. If you have normal to oily, probably not going to be the best. These are very creamy. If, for example, a liquid illuminator from Becca, it sets and it doesn't move and it wears really well. These guys, they stay slightly sticky, slightly tacky. They don't dry down to a powdery finish. True, very true to the name. It's a creamy cream. And moisturizing also. So it does make the cheeks look really nice and healthy, but the wear time is not great and it never sets. I do prefer products that set on the face. I'm not a big fan of products they don't. The only thing that I can tolerate that does not set is highlighter. Blush, not so much. We have a very pretty warm peachy, light peach blush here, which obviously I like because I've used quite a lot of it. And we have a highlighter here, which I also obviously like and I've used quite a lot of. So I think I will get through it. I'm not sure that I'll get through it in the next 2 months, but it will get used. It will get used up, I think. So let's see how this goes. And lastly, I'm including something that I know I can get use out of and I can probably finish up before the end of the year, and it's by Beauty lip pencil in the color 078. It's a red. Now, this is the only red pencil that I have. I have red lipsticks, but only one red pencil. And I want to finish it off because it's like really tiny. There's not a ton left here. And I have been enjoying wearing red lips, again, for long wearability and to prevent it from smudging. Lip pencils are a good way to do that. Now, I'm not sure that I would even repurchase a red lip pencil because normally if I wanted that kind of a look, I would just use a lipstick and then use a Q-tip around the edges of the lip border, simply because I am not actually a fan of a very precise lip, because if your lip is super precise, then any time that it smudges just a little bit, it'll be blatantly obvious. However, if you do that like the faded lip look or blotted lip look, then a slight fading here and there is just going to be part of the look and it's not going to be a mistake. So, right? Therefore, a red lip pencil is probably not something I would go for again, at least not like immediately. I'm not in a rush to repurchase, but I think I can finish this off. It's a nice texture, it's a nice color. What's not to like? Let's get through it. So this is the project pan update I have for you. Basically, I've finished off most of the products. Let me know if you're doing project pan, if the pandemic messed with your project pan plans. Are you even wearing makeup these days because of the masks? People really scaled back on the amount of makeup that they're wearing. For me, on the days that I'm working a full day in a mask, because I do some telemedicine and then I also see patients in person, on the days that I'm wearing a mask, I'm just wearing a moisturizer primer without any tint or color and no cheek products at all. But I do prefer to have something on my eyes just because this is my ritual in the morning. I get ready to like calm myself and prepare myself for the day. My makeup routine is important. So luckily I don't have bad skin, so just a primer does just fine, and is more there to protect my skin from contact with the mask. The whole day it's going on, so I'd like to have a barrier between my skin and the mask. So far there hasn't been problems, but I also scaled back definitely on using base products, that's for sure. Hopefully this was fun for you to watch. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day and good luck.